everybody, this is the website boy again with another great tutorial, and today I'm going to be showing you how to do a slider. And the reason I'm doing this tutorial mostly is because a lot of people have been asking me for it. All right, and the next one after this should be probably a navigation menu, and that's going to be very interesting. But let's start with a slider. Okay, for those of you there, I want to please my subscribers just for being so faithful. Okay, so for those of you that don't know how to navigate my course, this is how you do it. Make sure that on the bottom right there, you click that subscribe if you haven't done so already. So that way you can get an email every time I upload a video to YouTube. Very good to subscribe. That way you can keep up to date with everything that I'm doing. All right, this is what we're going to be doing. And if you want to do everything like me, like I said in all my videos, install Sublime Text 2, and you can rewind these videos up to the beginning of this course, and you can find out how to do that with my videos. And also, don't forget to install the Emmet plugin just to make your workflow faster. And this is what we did on the last project. All right, very cool project. If you haven't watched that, go back and watch it. This is what we're going to be doing now. We're going to be integrating a slider right in the middle of our project there. All right, it's going to be very nice. So let's go ahead and do it. Now, guys, I want to say something. All right, first of all, those of you that have been clicking on that like button, thank you so much. But there are some of you that watch these videos and always forget to do this. Don't forget, because this shows me that you care, that you want more videos, that you like the videos. It keeps me motivated to do more, guys. So don't forget to do that. It's very easy to click on that thumbs up. All right, now the exercise files are going to be on my website, thewebsiteboy.com/snippets. And then you have two options: download or copy and paste. I suggest download so that way you can get the real images there. All right, again, those of you that like my videos, guys, last video was amazing. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. You really are making my days wonderful. Okay, you're showing me that you care, and you're showing me that you want more, and that that you like my videos, and that's very important. All right, now let's go ahead and learn how to integrate this slider. So let's go ahead and start this. First, we have our files here. If you haven't done so already, make sure you watch the last videos and get this up, get the structure correctly. Okay, now we're going to be building something like this, and I'm going to show you right now. All right, like this. All right, let me just make this smaller so you can see the whole site right there. It's gonna be nice. It's gonna be responsive. As you can see, it's responsive there. Would be more responsive now if I go like this. There you go. You can see it. All right, so that's what we're gonna be making there. All right, so let's go ahead and minimize this a little bit. All right, let's just take that off. All right, so let's go ahead and open our Sublime Text or whatever other editor you got. All right, I'm gonna drag mine this way. And the way I usually start all my projects is by grabbing one of these basic .html, but we're gonna grab the file from the last project, and we're gonna drag it here. Now let's go ahead, and if you watch the last project that we did, you know that this row here 3 is the content, where all our I'll show you right now. Right here, it divides right here. This is the row 3 there. All right, so we're gonna put the slider right in between this purchase and this title here. All right, and that's right here, right here. All right, so this is where we're gonna put the slider. Let's just make that. Let's just put a class here of content. All right, just so maybe in the future we can target it. It's not gonna do anything there. All right, and we can also mark if we wanted to, and just put, this is content, whatever. But anyways, so let's go ahead, and the first thing that we got to do is go ahead and make a div with an ID of maybe whatever you want. Okay, but make sure that you use that ID when we target the slider later. Div slider. So I'm gonna make a div of with a ID of the slider. All right, and we're gonna comment this because we want to know where this div ends, since we're gonna have a lot of divs here. All right, so we have the container of the slider. The next thing we do is we need to give it some classes, all right, because we're gonna need them later to make some functionalities happen, to make the look of our site. So the first class that we're gonna give our slide is gonna be called carousel, and I'm gonna show you later on why we have to do this. The second class that we are going to use is called slide, and we need this also. All right, so let me just expand this so that you can get a better view. All right, so the slides one class. Now the next thing we got to add here is an attribute, and this attribute is called data, and I'm going to explain to you what that is. Data ride. All right, and we have to put a value of carousel in there also. And the reason why is because this is JavaScript. This HTML5 attribute communicates with JavaScript. This is gonna make our slider move. All right, so now that we have that done, the next thing we do need is to provide a inner container for our slider, and it's gonna call the carousel inner. All right, we have that. And then after this, we need another div with a class of item. And all our items or our images or whatever we got inside the sliders are going to be called items. All right. And this is where your image will go. All right. So let's just comment this. All right. Item. And just put item one. All right. And let's comment this one too there. And let's call it carousel inner. Just to know, because this is gonna be big. Well, not that big, but I always like to mark my code. That way I know where when they finish. All right. So inside here, we have to provide an image or whatever we want. In this case, we want an image. And just to show you a quick trick, you can actually have an image from the internet, a placeholder. And if you type HTTP // there, please hold that it these people here will actually let you use their service to create an image, and we're going to see how that works in a minute. So now that we have this, we create an item there. We need to create another item, and let's just copy this out, and inside this inner, all right, we're going to create another item and another item, because we're going to have 3 slides. All right, you see how this starts getting confusing? Let's just put this inner all the way down there so we don't get that confused. Separate this a little bit. All right, so item 1, item 2, and item 3. All right, so on this first item we need to add another class for this slider to be the first one, and it's going to be called active. This one we leave it alone, and this one we leave it alone. All right, so there's nothing else we need here for this, and for this, but we're gonna be adding some other stuff to the slider, and I'm gonna show you in a minute. Let's just save this, save as, and just save it as a project slider. I just want to keep the other file that we had, the project, alone, just in case we needed to do something else. Save it. Let's go to it, and let's just open it in the browser. And as you can see here, we have a slider. All right, and if you wait a minute, it should move. There we go. All right, so now we need to add the indicators for here, and we need to add the nets and the previous indicators also. All right, so let's go ahead and do that now. Let's go back to our editor, and let's add the first thing that we're gonna add is the indicators for the bottom there. All right, so let's go to the top here, not in the inner but outside the inner section. We are going to be adding the carousel indicators. All right, so we're gonna create an order list, and we're gonna have 3 items in here, And this is just a shortcut for those who have Emmet. All right, you can just pause this video and copy everything that I'm doing. Let's just let me just do this. All right, so now this order list has a class of carousel dash indicators. All right, so that's the first thing that we need to do. This first li has an attribute called data, and we need this. All right, data target. All right, and we need to target the slider right here. Okay, because there are gonna be these little dots in the bottom of the slider that you're gonna click, and we're gonna show you exactly what that means, what we're creating. um, Actually, I can show you right now what we're creating. It's let's go to the next one. You see these little dots right here? This is what we're creating right now. You can't see it on that picture, but you can see here. If I expand it, you can see the little dots. All right, so that's what we're creating, just to let you know. All right, so now we need to target the slider here, so that way when we click there, our JavaScript, which is this one, this attribute HTML5, um, can actually function. All right, so let's carousel. All right, actually we need to target that slider. That's what we call it, right? The slider. All right, so now we did that, and the next one is to target, to do another attribute called data slide to. All right, and this is another one, and we are going to, this is for our first, this is just gonna target the first dot there, just to let JavaScript know this is the first dot basically. All right, and we're gonna add a class to it, and we're gonna just make sure that this is the active one. Okay, and the other one has the same, they have the same attribute, so we're just gonna copy this and add it to each, and add it to each there, and then we just change the zeros to let them know this is the second one and this is the third one. And yes, I said third one because JavaScript, this data attribute starts from 0, and this is 1, 2, and 3 basically. Okay, so now that we have that done, let's just save it and see how it looks. Okay, let's go back to our Finder or Documents in PC and just double click here, and we have this data right here. Okay, now this is all out of place. We're gonna fix that in a minute. Let's go back to it. Now that we have that, the next thing we do need to do is add the little arrows, the nets and the previous, and we're gonna add that in the bottom of the slider. So right here, when, let me see, item 3, carousel inner, under carousel inner, okay, we're gonna add that. So let's just do that right now. So because this one we did it outside. All right, so this is the slide, this is the inner. Let's do that. Okay, all right, my computer is acting up a little bit, so let's just, anyway, let's just mark it. There we go. Controls, this is what we're gonna call this. Let's just comment this out there. Controls, and the first thing that we need here is we're gonna need 3 uh, anchor, we're gonna need 3 links here. We're gonna use this, and we are going to use multiply because I want to do it fast. All right, and now of course I could do it faster, but I want you guys to catch up with it. All right, so first thing we gotta do is add a class to this one, and we're gonna add a class of left. That's the first class. Another class of carousel control, and I'm gonna show you exactly what that does. That's some really good styles there for the right and left. So this one is for the left, of course. On the href attribute, we are going to target the slider because that's the name of our slider, ID. And now we're gonna just mark it with an HTML5 attribute called button. All right, and so now we got that going there. All right, we need another attribute called data slide. Data slide, and this one we're gonna call it previous. All right, so that's the first one there. And inside this a tag, we are going to create, we're gonna put an icon because right now it doesn't look like anything. Right now, excuse me. Right now we need to put a called glyphicon, okay? And that is an icon from Bootstrap. Bootstrap has a lot of glyphicons, and you can check that out on their site. But this glyphicon, let me see if I'm spelling this correctly, ficon, which is glyph and then icon, of course. But altogether, we do the same thing again. I don't like to write that again. All right, and this one is called a chevron, which is a little arrow there, and I'll show you in a minute. Chevron, and this is the left one because it's a chevron right, also left. Jeez, I forgot how to write left. My mind is blank. Sorry, guys. Anyway, so we got that going there. The next one is the right one, so we're just gonna copy this out, and we're gonna change a couple things. Where it says left, we change it to right. All right, and when it says previous, we change it to next, of course. All right, and this one we change it to right also. All right, so I think everything is working fine. Let's just save it. Hopefully, let me keep my fingers crossed. And I didn't need it to make this many things here. I don't know why on earth would I think there was so many. Anyways, so let's go back to it, and let's double click it and see how it looks. All right, so we got it going right here, and there we go. It's even working, guys. So beautiful. And then we have this working right in the middle. Now let's fix this picture here. All right, the reason why it's not expanding all the way to our site is because the picture is not responsive. Now we could make the picture responsive with Bootstrap by adding a class. All right, so let's just look at this first. We have an image. We just have one slider actually. We have not one slider. Um, we have how many items we got? One, two, and three. Okay, we need to change the pictures there to make it look nice. But anyways, um, we could add a class called class image responsive, and this makes the image responsive. All right, so let's now it's, I don't think it's gonna make it span all the way to the end. I haven't tried that, but I know you can make images responsive with this class, but I don't think it's gonna do it. Let's just see. No, it's not going to do it. All right, because I haven't really checked this class much, but I know it makes the image responsive. I think it makes it, I don't know. But anyway, let's do it ourselves. All right, let's go. I haven't made a custom .css file here, so I'm gonna do that because this is gonna get messy here if we do it inline CSS there or in the head. So let's just make another file. Let's just save it to our documents in the Bootstrap section, CSS. Let's just make this custom .css. I know it was a subscriber complaining about it or just letting me know that I haven't done anything with that file. So let's just do that now. All right, so the ID is called slider, the slider. We're gonna target that ID via CSS, and we're gonna target the images. And what we're gonna do, we're gonna make the image 100%, the width of the image. That way it spans all across our browser. All right, so let's just go back to it and just refresh. I got so many windows here open. All right, it's not expanding because of course this is not linked. That's one of the reasons, and I'll show you another reason why it might not do it. So let's just link this real quick, CSS and then custom. Hopefully I'm going slow for you, some of you out there. I know some of you appreciate me going slow. There we go. So now that we did that, everything expands and is working 100%. Now let's link this to our nice pictures because I don't want these pictures here, right? Let's make it so it links to the other pictures. So let's go ahead and change this right here. All right. Remember that site. That site is very important. Images. Then I call it slide one.jpg, and the other ones are just slide 2 and 3. All right. And let's go ahead right here. 2 and 3. Let's see. All right. Let's just refresh it, and there we go. Let's make it smaller so you guys can see it there. All right, so now we have set this up, and now let me just show you if you want to get rid of this shadow here on the side. It's very simple. If you right click on it and you inspect element on it, do inspect element, you're gonna be able to tell that this is a background image right here, and we can take that off. All right there. And you can put any background image. You just have to target this class right here, carousel dash control, and you can make this however you want. You can also target the color of these little arrows here, and of course that is the control one right here, and you can change the colors of it, as you can see there. Very nice. You can change the hover effect on it too via CSS. All right, if you want to make this look better, you can also put a drop shadow in there, make the slider look better, and just target the ID and just make a box shadow. You can even do it from inspect element here. All right, and just as you can see, it's changing already, and you can put a nice shadow there. You see, it changed the look of it immediately. You can put a border. I mean, there are many things that you can do to it. One pixel solid blue. That would be interesting. There we go. Right? I mean, there are numerous things that you can do via CSS to make it look nice, however you want. Anyways, I hope this was able to help you out. Don't forget to like the videos so that I can keep making more. Don't forget to comment on it if you have any questions. I will probably make the next video navigations and just put a navigation up here. Of course, responsive navigation with Bootstrap. It's gonna look awesome, guys. You guys are awesome. I want to thank you again for subscribing, for keeping up with my videos and my comments and liking the videos. Thank you again, and I'll see you in the next tutorial, guys. Bye bye.